All right, it's your boy, Charlie. It's another Sunday, like I said. So what we need here. Another Sunday, another episode. Um, Pretty much we're gonna do like a semi introduction. So we'll talk a little bit about our show, our podcast, and then we'll talk a little bit about ourselves, I guess. And I was say,
my mind talk.
yeah, so as you guys know, I actually go by the name the Prince of Ghana, or you could call me Juju.
Man, I go by the name Michael Tossick. That's just me.
And then obviously we run the Come Up show. So we run a podcast called the Come Up. And basically what we do is we sit down every Sunday and we just talk about just everything.
Yep.
You see, what's up, Charlie? Today be Sunday.
Today be Sunday. Today we no go church.
And
we
so what the way we did here, way we did drink, we
what's to get we?
My boy say go buy some tower cam, so I don't know where you go. I don't know where you go get this tower from, but see, we go drink up like that, though, Charlie. Yeah, it's like Charlie. Yeah.
So how's your week been so far?
My week is cool. I mean, work, but then work and play. You feel me?
I feel you.
Yeah. I haven't slept since yesterday, but we're still here.
Oh, that's part of the grind.
It's dedication, man. I think the other day I was actually mentioning this to you, where I told you, say there was this social experiment. Actually, so this thing. I think we didn't mention about this. So I stumbled across this video on social media. It's an Instagram video, and the way the video played out is this. Okay, there was two guys doing a social experiment, and I want your take after I narrate this thing. So there's two guys doing a social experiment, and basically I actually didn't pay attention to the caption. I was just watching the video. So what I noticed is that there's two guys. One was black and one was white. And I noticed that they were both blind, right? And what they were doing is that they were posing as if, naturally they weren't blind, but they were posing as blind. And what they were doing is that they were walking in like in a street, like they were walking in a central street, somewhere where it's very busy with visiting tourists and everything. So what they did is that they walk posing as if they were blind. And then they will stretch their arm and kind of like tap the first person in front of them, so they will see if the person will hold them and lead way for them to walk, right? And if you watch the video, you notice that the white guy actually got everybody that he tapped to walk him towards like a straight line. But anytime the black dude hit anybody, they either jump or they push him away.
Oh, I know where this is going.
You get what I'm saying?
I really know where this is going.
Yeah. So hear me out. So now, when I was watching this video, I actually didn't read the caption, like I said. So I said to myself, like, I started looking at this. I'm like, this shit is fucked up. Then something told me to actually look deep into the video. And I saw a caption that said, watch the difference between the two of them. I'm like, oh, shit. Actually, it's a social experiment. Meaning that the reaction that we get from the people treating the black guy is different from the white guy. So I wanted to share this with you because I think I didn't mention this to you over the week that we're going to talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
So what is your take? Like, what is your take on such experiments? Because I've seen a couple of them, different scenarios, and I think I told you another one. I'm going to talk about that too. But like different scenarios, like why are we living in 2023? Why are we still battling shit like that?
I mean, I feel like, it's something it's gonna be there. Even though we try to make it, or we try to say to ourselves, it's something that everybody needs to avoid. It's something that, you're right. We're in the 21st century and civilization is playing the biggest role right now. Mm-hmm. So everybody needs to get away from those actions. And I said stuff like that. No? But, think about it. The fingers we have, they're not the same. The way you think, it's not going to be the same way I think. You get what I'm saying? Even though we're friends, even though we're cool people, my mindset is different from your mindset.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So the way I handle certain things, it's going to be different from the way you handle certain things. I'm not saying, however, these people who are in the video you're talking about, the way they handle the stuff is right or wrong. But what I'm saying is, everybody sees things different. The black man, right? The black man has a how do I say this? A perspective around him.
Yeah.
If even I saw a video recently too. I'm gonna bring that up and we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
But I feel like we blacks in a sense, we're racist to our own kind.
Absolutely.
You got what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's where it all starts from. You know, a black man is hating on a black man,
Absolutely.
and then you expect a white man to obviously
Not hate it.
Oh, come
Absolutely,
on, man.
absolutely.
But I mean, let's not. This is a topic that usually I don't like
it's
to
very
talk
touchy.
about.
Yeah, it's very touchy.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to touch base on what you said about we hating on each other, because I quite remember, and I don't think I've ever told you this before, but I quite remember a couple of years back, I think almost 4 or 3 years ago, when I was doing radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was doing radio, I had a PR, and what my PR did is that she went out and scout people for me to come to the radio station and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was me and her. Like, it was basically me and her. We were
Right.
just grinding.
Yeah.
But anytime you call our own fellow people, like our own Ghanaian people,
Yeah.
they start giving you me ba, me dien. You know,
And that's
that,
let me and
you know that type of shit. Like,
and let me
what
touch
is
on
in
something.
for me? Like, what is in for me?
Let me touch on something. It's not just black people. It's our
Generation.
nationality, especially the Ghanaians.
Okay.
Let me make some analysis to you. So when Nigerian artists
Uh-huh.
are going on tour abroad,
Uh-huh.
all the Nigerians support them, including us.
Uh-huh.
But when our artists, which is Ghanaians, are going on tour,
Uh-huh.
do Ghanaians support them the way the Nigerians support their artists?
No,
You
they
got what I'm
don't.
saying? I
They
understand
don't.
Nigerians.
They don't. And
I understand Nigerians have the numbers. Obviously, they're more than us. They're more than Ghanaians. But then again, the way we support their artists, it's not the same way we support our own artists. A Ghanaian man, let me explain. My uncle actually gave me this scenario. You start a business, right?
Yeah.
And then your business, let's say it's an African restaurant or an African
Pop.
pub,
Yeah.
right? And then you start spreading the news. You tell Ghanaians, oh, I'm doing a grand opening. You guys come support me and stuff like that. Yeah, they'll try and help you spread the news, but when the D-Day comes, are they
They're not
all going to show up?
They're not going to show up.
You got what I'm
They're
saying?
not going to show up. And it's funny because I remember in 2018, and this actually one of my touchy subjects too, and I never spoke about this before, but 2018, I quite remember that there was a production team that brought Shatawale to the States, and obviously brought Shatawale to Massachusetts. And I quite remember that was my time when I was in the when I was at the radio station, and I said to myself, because I was part of those people promoting the event, I was there, flyers, I was doing radio interviews with like the small upcoming, like the side attractions. I was bringing them to the radio station and stuff like that. So I quite remember that when Shatawale came to Worcester, I was part of the people that went to the airport. We drove them, you know, I did a chaperone thing, everything like that. And I was saying to myself, so let's say if Shatawale came the night before, I said to myself, well, the next day he was gonna come to the that was the deal they gave me.
radio
He
station,
was
so
gonna
you
come
can-
to the radio
so yeah,
station
so you can
and
talk-
you
you
know,
can
so
touch
we could
base
talk
with
to
him.
him.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, like, yo, that was gonna be my breakthrough. You know,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
getting to a point.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my breakthrough because once he comes to the radio station, he's gonna post it on social media.
Yeah.
Someone is gonna post it. It's gonna trend and boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah,
boom,
yeah.
right? And trust me, honestly speaking, the dude never made it to the radio station. You know, and I'm not bringing this up to kind of like, it's not about anybody. We basing this on support. And when I look at his craft and his art, like, he's a good artist and whatnot, but there was something that he did that I never understood. And one of the things that they said is that he doesn't do rehearsals. When he performs, he doesn't go and do this whole mic check and all that stuff. It was a thing. Like, dude never went to mic check. We're buying Rolexes when he was supposed to do mic check. Like, we're gonna have a whole episode based on that. I'm not gonna focus this on that, but there's gonna be a whole episode based on that very specific conversation, because I think there's a part of that story that people don't know, and the people that knew will not talk about it. But obviously I was there and I knew what happened and all that stuff.
Yeah, but the video you're talking about, the one about the blind folks.
Yeah, the social experiment.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that was the expectation out of that video was what they got.
Yeah, of course,
You got what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
That was the whole
Because
idea.
We can't just sit here and be like, oh, we're gonna put this to test and see if we're gonna get
More people to go for the black people. No.
That's not gonna
They
happen.
knew what they were
Yeah,
doing. It's a social experiment. So
that's where the world is right now. We
Yeah,
can't. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I also, let me bring this up. I also saw a video, back in Ghana, and I actually saw it on Twitter. So there's this guy. You could tell where they were. so the cops went to go arrest a guy, and you
Oh,
could
I think I saw it.
and you could tell, the guy they went to go arrest, he's probably broke, or he's from a broke society or
Yeah.
whatsoever. So they were mistreating him.
Is it a guy that dragged him like a dog?
Yeah, they dragged him like a dog because they had a belt in his neck, and they were dragging him to.
Toxic. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I saw the video too, and I read the captions. And I'm not cutting you off. I mean, because we both. I mean, whatever you see on Twitter, either you share with me or when I say something, I share with you. Let's be straightforward. Ghana needs to change the way they do things. You know, and this is not about Ghana. This is not about anybody. It's about our podcast. But we as human beings living in a world like this, we are Ghanaians. We are born Ghanaians. But Ghana needs to change a lot of things. I know we are not the first people to say this. We know people have said it. There's people saying it all the time. But Ghana needs to change things because there's something we call civil rights, and we have something we call human rights. And I think sometimes Ghana police go beyond those certain rights. They actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they disintegrate or something like that. Kind of like they
I feel like
they shit on people's civil rights. I feel like,
you're right. I just feel like Ghana police just abuses the authority the police force brings or comes with. You got what I'm saying? Because I feel like, yes, once you put on the uniform. I've been a service member before. I've been in the military. Well, not in Ghana, but like yeah, you got what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like once you put on the uniform, it gives you some sort of power. Thinking say, oh, you're above
the law.
The law, or you're above.
Not even the
But think about.
Not even the president of the United States above the law.
Let me make this analysis. So what if? So let's just like how they went to go arrest this guy. So when they went to go arrest, what's that lady's name? The minister of whatever, Cecilia Dapa or whatever her name is. So when they went to go arrest her, if it wasn't because of the dignity she has or the position she holds in the country, would they have treated her just like how they treated the guy?
That's where the social experiments comes in.
You know what I'm saying?
So now we have to put it in a way that
but because the guy has no dignity, well, sorry to say, because the guy has no social status or social value, or niska, basically it's all about money. Money runs everything in the world.
But toxic. So and I know I'm laughing at this issue because I feel like there's more to the story, and I'll tell you why I'm actually going to disagree with what you said.
Okay.
The guy is poor, I get it. Did you see the number of bystanders they had over there?
I said, what?
Did you see the number of bystanders?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So my question to you is this: what was the role of? What did the bystanders do? Besides just stood there and watch, and besides stood there and said, "Oh,
onya they can't really do anything.
They could do a lot of shit.
Like what?
Intervene
and beat up the cop.
Don't beat up the cop.
But
intervene what? Because there's something we call, like I said again, there's something we call human rights and civil rights. The point of the matter is this: if a police officer, right, is doing something wrong, and as a citizen, if you could stand up to that police officer and tell them what their duty,
how many times
I'm coming, what their duty as a police officer is, and what they are supposed to be doing, and telling them it's our money that is used to pay them.
Let me tell you something. So
then they will know where they stand.
We have this perspective. They always say this to us. The cops always say this to us. Police are your friend. The police needs to be your friend. But then again, when they pull us over, we're shivering and scared as shit because we know what. Okay, that stopping and frisking can lead to something else, right? So once they pull us over, man, you're pissing in your pants because you don't know what's gonna happen. He has a weapon. You probably don't have a weapon. So the least thing you can say, which could trigger him to draw his weapon, will make him draw his weapon. You know what I'm saying?
But so when you look at the statistics,
I understand people were around.
Yeah, but when you look at the statistics of Ghana police forces, how many times have you seen a Ghana police pull up an arm and shoot somebody?
It don't matter though. At the end of the day, he's still governed and protected by the federal government.
By what federal government? The Ghana government?
Yes.
Okay.
Every
hear me out.
Every government employer is protected by the federal government.
So you are saying, say, because he's a police officer, so he's protected by the government of Ghana, right? Federally, right? So why the fuck are they standing on the streets, right? Taking money from citizens whilst they're supposed to be doing their due diligence.
You and I know that. Who else knows that?
Everybody in Ghana knows that.
Yeah, but do their authorities know that?
Absolutely, they know that.
So if they know that, what are they doing about it? It's not about them.
They're not doing nothing about it.
What
because
is the government? So why would a cop stand by the roadside to take money from citizens?
Because they're not getting paid properly.
Okay, so whose fault is it? It's
The government, the same government that you praising. No,
I'm not praising the government.
No,
How am I praising the government? I can't. Yo, let me put this on the camera. I will never ever praise any government in Ghana. For real.
Because
I would never ever do that.
because what I got from you was this: they are being protected by the federal government of Ghana. Okay, because they are civil servants, right? Okay, but being a civil servant, I feel like as a civil servant, you are supposed. What is the word? Civil. You remember I said civil rights.
Yes.
A civil servant. You're supposed to be serving your people, right?
But let me tell you this: I'm not saying say what he did or what they're doing is right. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when people get power, the power tends to lead them to do certain things that they're not supposed to do. You and I know that. When you go to work, right? Let's say you're a supervisor. When you go to work, and then you have people who reports to you, you probably relax and chill and expect those people to like get their shit together because you don't want to. You don't want to go the extra mile to be babysitting them. Just because of the little power they've given to you as a supervisor.
Me personally, I love the luxury. I will say this: I love the luxury of going to Ghana, and trust me, I'm a giver. So I had no issue. I will say, quote unquote, I do not have any issue stopping in traffic or stopping by a police officer and giving them like handing them down something. I don't have an issue.
Yes, I don't have an issue with that. But
listen,
then again, is that the right thing to do?
Absolutely. But the thing is this: when they are abusing and mishandling human beings, it's a problem. And that's the thing, because I feel
we all know that.
I feel like this. You see, if we are to go on a social experiment, right, and we are to meet every police officer on the streets of Ghana, and we tell them to tell us certain laws and regulation, as like certain type of constitution and their statute, I guarantee you that out of 100 police officers, maybe 5% will be able to pass that exam.
You're right. And I'm not saying you're not. I'm honestly supporting what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
So, no, because I'm getting to a point, like, you know.
Okay, so what's the point you're trying to get?
My point I'm trying to make here is this. Most of them are wearing the uniform because they pay their way there, right? And I'm not even emphasizing on the paying their way there aspect, but almost a uniform because they feel like, okay, and then my career training, my career saying I'm your officer. But half of them don't know what their fundamentals or what their job descriptions are.
It's up to their superiors to put training measures in place for them to understand and say, it's not about you. It's about protect. It's about
because you're serving the people.
Think about it. Police in Ghana, your first priority is to protect the people and then the country.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So if you're using the people as leverage to fatten your pockets, then what are you doing?
Anyways.
But then again, it's not their fault because at the end of the day, they're not getting paid right. So their superiors need to put in certain measures to make sure, say, these people are getting paid right. So now we can uphold them to the law that we've put in place for them to abide by.
Anyways, moving on, because this Ghana police issue, I know we are not the first people to say it. I know
it's a whole lot of.
But I still love my Ghana police.
There are certain things I honestly don't.
I still love them for
certain conversations.
I still love them for taking my money. I still love them for taking my money here and there. But it's all good. We still love them because at the end of the day, they need to eat. So you feel me?